Okay, first of all, ain't nobody talking while I'm talking, so shut the up.
Erling Haaland cut his long hair recently. Now we no longer wondering if he will make a man excited or if he'll make a woman excited. Because we know he'll make Shane Gillis excited. Campbell Hall reached a not-so-confidential settlement with the woman who alleges Byron Scott sexually assaulted her on campus in 1987. Allegedly. Damn, so she gets to settle twice, once with the school and once again with Byron? Target tried to sell Jim Crow-style costumes for Halloween. They thought they'd get away with it by using an actual black person in the ad instead of painting someone in blackface. The ad actor was a black kid, too young to be an Uncle Tom, too black for blackface. It was genius. A lot of black people are upset. As a fan of the game, I got to give props to the audacity. A lot of NFL players are getting their seasons cut short before it even started. Lots of ACL tears during the preseason and practices. The front office and doctors or whatnot must have noticed that 75% of the league is African American and just shrugged. Cause Negroes, you know. Meta reached an $18 billion settlement over child safety claims. The settlement involved 48 states and is centered around improving the lives of children on the platform. Meta might be the first company to pay child support. I feel like they should let the privacy thing slide. You know, if Meta is going to pay that much, it should at least get to see its kids. My friend works for Boeing as one of them airplane techs or whatever. Every few years, they go on strike. They go on strike so frequently and consistently that I said being able to go on strike should be part of the job requirement. A Texas law banning drag shows around kids was recently turned down. As it should be, that's a violation of freedom of speech. Yet it's sort of a catch-22 if you ask me, considering those kids are gonna be left speechless. Jamar Chase is fine after his injury scare in training camp. This is such a revelation. Since he came in the league, Jamar has been among the most intriguing players. Personally, I'm most intrigued by how his name is spelled. J-A-M-A-R-R. Tiger Woods fans were stunned to see him in the public eye after a long absence. Although sober, fans were stunned. Tiger Woods is aging like an Asian man. Black don't crack, but Asian loses its persuasion. Kyle Singler is having a mental health breakdown. He said he reached out to Coach K, and Coach K, quote-unquote, benched him. Shit, I bench him too. I'm trying to win. His ass ain't focused on the game. Rest in peace to Dolly Parton. Man, I didn't know she was 80. That plastic surgery made her look 79-ish for a few decades. Before taking your match on a date, do the two-factor verification. Just to be safe, make sure there's no Adam's apple and no dick print. Mountain Dew is coming out with a new flavor, but ever since that rumor that drinking Mountain Dew makes your dick smaller, they've lost the cis male palate. The Houston Texans fleeced the New England Patriots in a trade for wide receiver Keyshawn Bout. Patriots fans lost the privilege of announcers yelling boot whenever dude scored a touchdown. Someone on the Chinese internet is insisting that the Tang Dynasty never existed. Someone on China's internet has a death wish. I hope that motherfucker is using a remote VPN to say this shit. There could be some validity. Ever since China put up that wall, their dynasties have been the biggest, trust me, bro, in human history. Chicago Sky Guard Natasha Cloud, that player and that team were a match made in heaven. Anyway, she got into a confrontation with Ines Can of Freedom over who knows what. No, really, she came up to him, and he stepped forward and was escorted out. Who knows what man? After the game, I think she or someone said she did it in support of the transgender rights. I don't know, man. Shouldn't she be applauding Mr. Freedom after he came out as transgender? He was simply scouting his new team in case he goes undrafted. In all seriousness, I'm eager to see how far Mr. Freedom takes this. I mean, if she starts putting on makeup and a wig, man, I'll call him a new age Muslim. That's a new age Muslim. everybody treating watching the WNBA as haram, except Inez. 49ers owner Jed York allegedly, and I'll say it again, allegedly. Let me say it one more time. Allegedly got arrested on suspicion of engaging in prostitution in Ohio. Should have went to Vegas. Not gonna lie, man, that Facebook lawsuit or whatever is kind of pissing me off. You know, the one where Facebook supposedly hid studies showing that the shit was addicting to kids. Man, everything is addicting to kids. That study was conducted in bad faith. Why would you make someone do a study that you both know the result of before it's conducted, knowing that it will hurt their brand? Of course they're gonna hide those results. And they talking about this a class action lawsuit. Ain't no niggas in that class. I hope Facebook wins. I was trying to do a chicken cross the road joke one time, and dude stopped me. He said, man, that shit ain't funny. I heard that joke before. Here's a better one. How did the nigga cross the road? I asked him. Man, you said, how did the nigga cross the road? Yeah, how? I mean, we already know the answer. But he insisted I say it. Kept insisting. Then I just blurted out. The nigga Jay walked, and dude started laughing. And that got me thinking. I was in deep contemplation. Like, didn't the chicken Jay walk too? Man, AI is the worst thing for me, man. Cause I get intrusive thoughts about what to ask AI. Like there was this one time my intrusive thoughts won. So I was typing, did they spit on Jesus' face while he was on the cross? And I stopped myself before pressing enter. I was like, nah, I can't do it. Imagine a gangster or a cholo coming up to you at the gym while you're benching and asking you, all right, fool, hey, essay, what set you repping Holmes? I'd be cautious. On my third set could be slang for kiss my ass. I think about things, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like everyone is a narcissist, but just in different ways. Like if you cry because your homie got shot and he now longer with us no more. Ain't you crying because you lost a homie? That ain't got nothing to do with your homie. You know what I'm saying? That nigga dead. That's technically narcissism. It's just that your brand of narcissism is more socially acceptable than someone else's. But it's all narcissism, one and the same. I'm slow man. I mean, I'm immature for my age. Nigga, I just started thinking about reading Malcolm X. When a nigga starts reading Malcolm X, it's like a rite of passage. Every nigga read that book, or bookmarked it, or looked at the book, the cover. I've been thinking about self-deletion lately. Not thinking about doing it. I don't have the balls to do that shit. But just thinking about those people that do. You know what I'm saying? Like imagine a motherfucker has the balls to go through with that shit. And the reason they wanted to do it in the first place is because they didn't think they were potent enough to handle whatever life was throwing at them. But they had it in them to do something. That was even more potent. I don't know, man. It seems like self-deletion is sort of a catch-22, where you are led toward it by thinking you're not potent enough to handle life's problems, only to do something that is so potent, maybe even more potent than those problems. I don't know, man. I can only ideate to go through with that, to be able to find out at the very last nanosecond that you can do anything you set your mind to, while it being the very last thing you set your mind to. Most people can't even get close to the final act. You know what I'm saying? So imagine you sitting there or standing there, and just before you click or before you kick the stool, you remind yourself, man, I set my mind to this, and look how close I came. I can do anything. I can do anything. I feel like a lot of life's problems are due to unnatural selection. You know what I'm saying? People that are here that aren't supposed to be here and end up complaining about how shitty it is to be here, myself included. You know, it ain't even selection at this point. It's no nigga gets left behind. That shit is inorganic, man. I don't know if it's worth it to be somewhere you're not supposed to be, just to troll Charles Darwin. I wouldn't call myself an anti-natalist thought. I feel like that's self-snitching. It'd be like if someone told me they were an anti-natalist. They are pretty much telling me they were unnaturally selected without telling me they were unnaturally selected, like your sex drive is low enough to remember to use a condom. Theo Von and Shane Gillis, my two favorite white trash comedians, are LARPing as college bachelors. The more the years go by, their jokes get both funny and sad. Sad simply because their kids are missing out on the laughs. I'm done with Insidious, man. You know the horror movie shit. They made another one after making the quote-unquote last one. Nah, I'm treating the rest of the ones coming out as non-canon. So I ain't even gonna watch that shit. Oh, my bad, it was The Conjuring that was finished. But it feels like there were more Insidious movies than Conjurings. I personally couldn't be on some Lindsay Clancy type shit to where I'm saying a voice in my head told me to commit crimes. I don't care if the jury buys it. I couldn't stand there and look the jury straight in the face and tell them voices in my head told me to do it. Even if it was true, I would argue with the voices like the rest of the general population. I'd be like, nigga, do you know how stupid I'll look in court if I say voices in my head told me to do this shit? Is it just me, or does anyone else hate it when you struggling with some shit? Maybe putting a damn table together, and then someone asks you, did you eat? I'm like, bitch, what does that question have to do with this table I'm working on? Where the fuck I'm going to eat if I don't have a table? Fuck athletes, man. You know what I'm saying? Imagine you lose a game, and your opponent mocks you by telling you to have fun in Cancun. Niggas telling you to have fun in Cancun like it's a bad thing. Dubito ergo cogito. You know Descartes is often attributed with the phrase cogito ergo sum. That means I think, therefore I am. But little do people know that that was his second meditation. His first meditation was to doubt everything as a foundation for knowing shit. Dubito ergo cogito. So I was wondering, if I receive a thought from the recesses of my mind, and I didn't take that thought off the conveyor belt line and doubted it thoroughly, then did that count as me thinking? You know what I'm saying? Like, can an undoubted and unexamined thought be considered a thought? Or is it merely indoctrination? I hate motherfuckers that try to fuck around and find out why you trying to fuck around and find out on some shit that you already know. I seen a black teacher cry over black students not being able to read. No Child Left Behind is the antithesis of epistemology. Leave no doubt that's the first meditation on Descartes, meditation on first philosophies type shit. You ever have a friend who was swole and worked at like a cubicle or some shit? They swoller than your construction worker friend. More swole than your friend that owns that moving company. You finally come around asking them, man, you don't lift at all at your job. Why you so swole? Why you hit the gym that hard? Then he hits you with the, them thoughts get heavy though. He a dark-skinned fella. So you couldn't help but notice and own him. Man, that comment you made, it's a little too dark, even for you. My favorite civil rights leader was a guy that said, we were 3/5. He gave us 3/5. That's 3 more fifths than we started with. You give a nigga an inch, he wants 40 acres. Don't show up to the function humble, save your appetite. I remember asking bro, what's a growth mindset? He was into that motivation shit. He gave me a whole speak. Our other buddy came and said to me quietly, if you have a small penis, you gotta have a growth mindset.